Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. I wanted to do a checkup on how Pokemon card sealed products we're currently doing and specifically talking about the booster boxes because there are very few booster boxes available right now. I'm currently on the Pokemon Center US website. I don't know how it's currently at in Canada and the UK. Actually, I could check up on that, so it's not like I can't, I'm just lazy. But right here, at least in the US, the only booster box that we currently have available right now is the Scarlet and Violet Temporal Forces booster box display. This is the go-to cheapest option if you want to crack open any booster packs right now. 36 booster packs for 160 bucks is the best deal available right now, which if you think about it, even 3 months ago, that would have been like the worst deal imaginable. Like $160 for a booster box was kind of icky, actually. But nowadays, like this is literally the only option available. And I don't even think this option is going to last. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I do think it's going to sell out. Like, obviously, it's going to sell out. Vivid Voltage sold out, Battle Style sold out, a bunch of other sets like Scarlet and Violet Base, Paradox Rift, a bunch of other booster boxes were available on the Pokemon Center website over the past month or two, and they've all sold out, and this is the last bastion. And because it's the last bastion, I think, like, literally within a week or two, this is going to sell out. And that's not me trying to flip the market or whatever. I think I have like one Temporal Forces booster box inside of my collection. That's just where the market is currently heading. There are still decent available options, like the Astral Radiance Build and Battle Box, the Astral Radiance Build and Battle Stadium. The Topropicos EX box isn't even that bad of an option, but I would rather pick this one up for like $90 to $100 right now. I think there's still some places that has it available for $90 to $100, and that's really about it. There aren't too much else that's still available on the Pokemon Center website. It is super dry. I can't recommend a ton of stuff anymore, but if you can, like any product that is at retail price is never that bad of a deal. You're always at least buying it from retail price and you're picking it up from the Pokemon Center, which is the most reputable resource you're ever going to get. So if you want 100% legitimate packs, then at least the Pokemon Center still has some options. They're not completely out of products. And that's pretty annoying because if I go on to other storefronts right now, Game Nerds here, which is a very popular storefront for Pokemon cards, at least in the US. And I think like their cheapest booster box right now is $180 or $190. Looks like $185 is what they have Temporal Forces booster boxes listed as. And that's pretty much it. You're not going to find anything else, really. Oh, they got Battle Styles for $165. Whoop-de-doo-dah. And yeah, that's pretty much all that they have. And Game Nerds is one of the largest sellers of Pokemon cards, at least from a storefront perspective. We also have Stomping Grounds, which is, they're more well known over here in the West Coast, but they're a huge West Coast seller of Pokemon cards. And I think they are pretty much running dry. If I go and filter by, oh, for booster boxes, they have Journey Together booster boxes for $185 and nothing else. They have no booster boxes available at all. They are not selling anything. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Stomping Grounds is out of booster boxes. They 100% have booster boxes of Pokemon cards available inside of their warehouse or storefront or whatever else you might want to call it. A big reason why they're not selling Pokemon cards right now is that they don't have to and they don't want to. Because if you sell Pokemon cards right now and you know that the booster box prices are going to climb in the next 2 months, why sell it, right? That's the question that they're asking themselves is, why are we selling booster boxes when in 2 months we can sell those exact same booster boxes for $20, $30 more? Unless they have to sell those booster boxes, they'd rather just hold it. So right now, a lot of trading card shops are just acting as investors. They're pretty much investing in their inventory because it's going to be worth more down the line. And that's how it looks right now, because if you look at even a set like Vivid Voltage, this set sold out between December to January of this year for $140 on the Pokemon Center website, and now it's worth $185. It literally went up $20 in value every single month And it'll probably keep rising for a little while. I don't think this is going to stop yet. It might go to 200 to 220. I don't think it's going to go much more than that because there's still a ton of vivid voltage just floating around out there. There's just no reason for stores to sell stuff. So that's how you end up with scenarios like this where Stomping Grounds, very large distributor and seller of Pokemon cards over here in the West Coast, is selling no product. They're just choosing not to sell products. Some places like Game Nerds is selling product, but they're pricing it extremely high. And that's on purpose because they're higher than the Pokemon Center because at least that's still bringing them a large margin, right? They're already calculating in that, okay, Temporal Forces is going to sell in the next couple of weeks, and we already have stuff priced at whatever that price that after Temporal Force sells out of Pokemon Center is going to be, which is probably $185. So they're already just pricing in that price increase in the next month or two. That's why their prices aren't cheap right now. They're very, very expensive, and that's absolutely on purpose because unless they price it higher than the market, then they're probably just going to have it not in stock as well. They're just going to remove their stock or simply price it overpriced, which is what they're currently doing, which is kind of absurd. And that's really, really frustrating as a Pokemon card collector. Before we do a deep dive onto the prices on all the booster boxes that are available right now and how they're currently moving, I wanted to share with you guys that this video is sponsored by Whatnot. I am going to be doing a live stream on Pokemon Day, February 27th on Whatnot. And during the whole entire show, we are going to be giving away over $1,000 in booster pack. We are talking about packs from Champion's Path, Celebrations, Generations, and we're even giving away a vintage fossil booster pack. It's going to be a ton of fun, so definitely check out my show. It's usually a fantastic time to just hang out with you guys. And even if you don't want to pick something up, that's completely fine. Maybe you'll win one of the really, really cool giveaway. And at the same time, if you would like to check out Whatnot, I have a bunch of booster packs available on Whatnot right now. Sign up to Whatnot using the link in the description and you get immediately $15 added to your account to buy whatever you want, and I just happen to have a bunch of booster packs available for below $15. So it's that easy. If you want some free booster packs, you can just sign up to Whatnot, get $15 credit added to your account, buy some booster packs from me, and I will ship it out to you immediately. I am not a storefront, but I do ship some Pokemon cards between me and my wife, and you can get a bunch of booster packs available from us for absolutely free if you sign up to Whatnot and take advantage of their $15 in free credit. Definitely check out my live stream. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm putting a lot of effort into this show to make it my best one yet. So check it out. Hope you guys join in. And let's talk about some cool booster boxes. All right, let's see what you guys are currently collecting. The most popular sets to currently look at, review, and track on Collector looks to be Surging Sparks, Evolving Skies, as well as Fusion Strike over here. Evolving Skies and Surging Sparks is currently going for $250 for Surging Sparks and $1,300 for Evolving Skies. It's crazy how old Evolving Skies is, and people still really, really want to track this set, which makes sense because it's over $1,000 a booster box. Very wild because there's actually a bunch of older sets, way older sets than Evolving Skies that are nowhere near in terms of its price, but that really goes to show you the popularity and the power of this set. Let's look at Surging Sparks first. Very similar climb to a bunch of other sets. It was going for around retail price when it was released, and then it spiked up to $200, and now it's going for $260. There will be a restock of Surging Sparks in the future. Unfortunately, I've already covered this, but a lot of distributors are pricing in the increase in the product's cost or value over the past couple of months into their resale prices, which means a lot of stores are probably going to get booster boxes of Surging Sparks at $200 a box, and that's going to keep these prices very high, at least for now. It's going to take a while. I don't expect for there to be a large restocks of Surging Sparks and prices to tank down to $100 in a month or two. It's going to take time. And unfortunately, that's probably going to talk about 6 to 12 months time for prices to really start to calm down for a lot of these booster boxes. Evolving Skies, clearly fully sold out. You're not going to get any more of these. There are no more restocks of Evolving Skies. So this one, I think, is just going to stay strong. Whatever that price is probably where it's going to end up at. Even if there was a retraction in price, I think for Evolving Sky booster boxes, it might go down to like $1,200 to like at the minimum $1,000. It just can't go down much lower. Booster box prices are very, very sticky. Once they go up, it takes a lot of effort for them to go back down. They just don't really go down. That's just not how they work. When we look at other booster boxes, we see Paldea Evolved, still incredibly popular. There's a bunch of cool cards inside of this set. Obviously, the Magic card really carries the set. Same with Lost Origin, also extremely, extremely popular. If we look at Lost Origin booster boxes, they were going for around $200 just a couple of months ago. Spiked up to around $380 to close to $400 a booster box. It looks like there was a little bit of a retraction where it dropped down to like $340. But you can see how sticky prices are for booster boxes. Once they go up, it's much harder for them to go down because that's just the way that they work. They're not as volatile as Pokemon cards. Like individual Pokemon cards are much more volatile than booster boxes. But they're slow climbing. You're never going to see a booster box going up 1,500%. Like the same kind of scenario that's happening with like the Drowsy and other singles Pokemon cards, that scenario cannot occur with booster boxes because of how sticky they are in terms of their slow price climb. But they're also safer because they're less volatile. They're also safer. So take that into account. The gains for booster boxes are slower, but they are very cool collectible. I keep pretty much one sealed booster box of every single new set inside of my collection nowadays. You can actually see that. If you see a quantity of one, that actually shows you how many I have of each booster box inside of my collection. Lost Origin, I have one. Twilight Masquerade, I have one. Silver Tempest, I have two, which is kind of interesting. $240 for Silver Tempest. These booster boxes are the ones that I'm really watching because the older booster boxes climbing in value, that's completely normal. I don't think that's a big deal. Like even Evolving Skies booster boxes being $1,000. I mean, this set has been out for 4 or 5 years. At this point, you either have this inside of your collection or you don't. And if you have it inside your collection, it's because you want it. And if you don't want it inside of your collection, then you don't have it. You had the option to pick this up years ago for $200, so if you didn't pick one up, that's completely okay. You chose that decision. Whereas these newer sets, I think they should be available and they should be affordable because these are brand new sets. Stellar Crown came out 6 or 7 months ago. Temporal Forces is less than a year old, I think. And a lot of these other newer sets, I want them to be readily available to new collectors, especially even something like Scarlet and Violet Base. Scarlet and Violet Base is clearly a little bit older. Scarlet and Violet Base is now 2 years old, but this is the cheapest booster box you can pick up right now, which is Scarlet and Violet Base, and is currently going for right around $160. That's full retail price. Just a couple of months ago, it's going for below $100 because there really wasn't much you wanted to collect inside of Scarlet and Violet Base. But that has really, really changed. The Drowsy, the super expensive Drowsy that everyone's been talking about, is inside of Scarlet and Violet Base, and you can see that impacting this set. It's just climbing rapidly in value, and I think this climb is actually going to continue, especially for Scarlet and Violet Base, because a lot of really cool cards are inside of it. The Ralt Curlia Gardevoir set, that set is absolutely beautiful, and lots of people really like that set, and that set is inside of Scarlet and Violet Base. So I think this set has a lot of potential in it. If you don't have inside of your collection, that's okay, but I want sets like these to be available. And it's unfortunate that like the Scarlet and Violet era sets aren't readily available right now. If we look at Temporal Forces is also the last bastion. It's really one of the final one. You can already see that the secondary market is already pricing that Temporal Forces booster boxes are going for above $160. They're already saying like Temporal Forces on the secondary market is a $170 booster box, and on the Pokemon Center, it's the last available booster box at $160. After taxes, you're going to get to $170 as well. And if you're picking up these booster boxes, this is not like some scalper or flipper maneuver, right? People who are picking up these boxes are experiencing FOMO, but they're not scalping or flipping these sets because ultimately, Temporal Forces is not really flippable, if that makes sense. It's not really scalpable. Even if this set sold out, realistically, if you picked up these booster boxes from the Pokemon Center, this box has to go up to $220 to $240 for a scalper to even break even on it. That's what I mean when I say like, oh, this isn't really a scalpable or flippable product, is that these products have to be so much more expensive for anyone who picked them up at $160 to make any money on them. Because if you buy Temporal Forces on the Pokemon Center, you're spending $170 on the box. The box literally has to go for like $220 minimum for them to even make like, I don't know, $10 on the booster box, because once you sell it on eBay, you're losing 15%. So you're losing like $30 or $40 off the top immediately. So it gets very expensive, and I don't think people are scalping this set, which is why I tell people like, hey, like scalping is overinflated. It's not a lot of people scalping. It's just people literally buying booster box cases of these sets. I know someone out there who picked up 6, 7 booster cases of Vivid Voltage and other sets that were available in the Pokemon Center a couple months ago because they just wanted to hoard those sets. And that's what I think the real prominent issue is right now. It's not Pokemon scalping. It's kind of like Pokemon hoarding, is that everything is going up so rapidly in value that people see Pokemon kind of like as a future gold mine. It's not so much that they see Pokemon cards as an immediate value gain. They see it as 10 years, I'm going to be rich. And people are banking on Pokemon to make them rich or really, really valuable in 10 years. And I just don't see that happening. I'm not saying you're not going to have like a decent value collection in 10 years, but I just would not put my whole entire investment in that. Like that's just not really reasonable. Pokemon cards is just much harder to keep track of and sell than people think, especially once you have like massive closets full of Pokemon cards. My closet is, I swear to God, not full of Pokemon cards. Yes, I have a decent collection inside of this specific room, but the rest of my house looks like a normal house. I promise you, the rest of my house looks like any other house. If you didn't walk inside of this specific room inside of my house, you would never even know that I'm a Pokemon card collector, because we really don't have like any other displays out there. So you can see a lot of booster boxes are just slowly climbing up in value. The absolute cheapest booster box is $160. And stores are hoarding them, is the point of this video. So if you're someone out there that's collecting Pokemon cards right now, you have to be really, really savvy about what you pick up, because a lot of it is just going to keep going up in value, and I think that's going to stay that way for at least 6 to 12 months. The cheapest booster box is $160, and this is not the worst that it's going to get. I predict that the worst it's going to get is even sets like Scarlet and Violet base is probably going to reach $200. I do think that we're going to reach a point where even the cheapest booster box is going to reach $200, and then we are going to slowly peter down. There will come a time when the prices on booster boxes starts to chill out, but it's not going to be in the next couple of months. I think prices, if I'm right at least, on my prediction, and how right am I? A lot of people think I'm an absolute clown anyway. And that's completely fine. Like, I'm just a dude that talks about Pokemon card. But I do think the absolute cheapest booster box is going to reach $200 at one point. And that's how the pandemic was. During the peak of the pandemic, the absolute cheapest booster box you can pick up was $200. So a lot of people were saying, oh, this is so much worse than the pandemic. I don't know about you guys, but I remember the pandemic, and the cheapest booster box was $200 during the pandemic for a period of 6 to 12 months. The absolute cheapest booster box you can pick up was $200. So I do think that repeat can happen. So this is not as bad as the pandemic yet, but I do think that we're heading that direction. And a lot of stores are pricing that in. So because a lot of stores are pulling off their inventory, they're making that future happen. So some of you guys might say, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it is. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hope to see you guys on my Pokemon Day live stream show on Whatnot. And I'll see you guys next time.